A cloud of questions continues to hang over the town of Mooresville.
Iredell County Sheriff Darren Campbell is now calling for an independent investigation into the Mooresville Police Department. And after WBTV's investigation into Mooresville mayor, prosecutors are now weighing whether the State Bureau of Investigation should get involved.
WBTV investigative reporter David Hodges has more.
In an interview you will only see on WBTV, Sheriff Campbell tells me he requested an SBI investigation after he learned that Mooresville officers helped execute a search warrant along with other state agencies 6 miles outside of their jurisdiction. But despite his request, the SBI never investigated. I started digging to find out why. Down this road, at the point in Iredell County, sits a house that garnered a lot of attention from law enforcement. On February 24, 2025, a search warrant was executed at 112 Birdsong Lane to seize cash, electronics, and records police claim are related to an illegal gambling operation. The criminal case against the homeowner is still pending. Mooresville Police was one of several agencies that took part in that search warrant. But the house isn't in Mooresville. It's in unincorporated Iredell County, 6 miles outside town limits, which is the territory of the Iredell County Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Darren Campbell. You didn't get any communication about this in advance?
We had no communication of this in advance at all.
I interviewed Sheriff Campbell about the operation he says led to serious safety concerns.
But originally it was citizens called, upset about helicopters and men outside in the yards with weapons. In this case, it would have just been tragic had I had deputies respond to a potential what somebody thought was a home invasion, and we have no idea of what's going on. And this is approximately 6 miles out of the city.
2 days after the search warrant was executed, Sheriff Campbell wrote this letter to the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation. The letter raises concerns about Mooresville police officers executing a search warrant and making an arrest outside their lawful jurisdiction. Campbell also requested an SBI investigation to help ensure that all actions taken were within the boundaries of the law.
The purpose of requesting an investigation, make sure everything's transparent.
Sheriff Campbell isn't the only person calling for the SBI to open an investigation into the town of Mooresville.
You can see the mayor at least on a couple different occasions without wearing pants. Which is a very big issue.
2 former Mooresville IT employees are suing the town, claiming they were retaliated against for seeing sensitive video of Mooresville Mayor Chris Carney in town hall after hours. Should the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation get involved and see what's going on here in Mooresville?
They should have already. I mean, I don't understand why they haven't.
Former Mooresville Assistant Police Chief Frank Balzone and the North Carolina Police Benevolent Association are also calling for the SBI to investigate a roadside encounter between Mayor Carney and Police Chief Ron Camperciani that they allege was actually a traffic stop that was covered up.
We don't know if that occurred or if that did not occur, but without a proper investigation, we'll never know.
Despite all of these requests, a spokesperson for the SBI confirmed there is no active investigation involving Mooresville. What's your understanding of why that didn't happen?
I don't really know. I made the request, and I think the purpose of requesting an investigation is to do an investigation.
In a letter sent to the former Mooresville employees' attorneys, SBI's general counsel said before starting an investigation, the SBI seeks a concurring request from the appropriate district attorney. In Iredell County, that district attorney is Sarah Kirkman. But the SBI wrote they conferred with the appropriate district attorney and a request for an investigation has not been made. In an email to WBTV, Kirkman said issues involving Mooresville present a possible perceived conflict with my office. Kirkman didn't say what the conflict was, but Carney and Camperciani's roadside encounter took place after this political fundraiser for Kirkman they all attended, during which campaign finance records show Carney made a $1,300 in-kind donation to Kirkman's political campaign that's labeled Drinks for Event. I requested an on-camera interview with Kirkman. She declined, but wrote in an email she referred the matter of requesting an SBI investigation to the North Carolina Conference of District Attorneys. The executive director of the Conference of DAs confirmed they are currently reviewing this information to determine next steps. Sheriff Campbell says it's time for an independent investigation to clear the air in Mooresville.
Anybody that's in the realm of a position of public trust, including myself, including the judge, including the district attorney, anybody, should always advocate to do what's right. We should always, if we see potential, at least find out, was it wrong or was it not? Simple book closed. But you have to investigate, or at least have to look into something.
A spokesperson for North Carolina Alcohol Law Enforcement told me that since they were part of the operation, wrote the search warrant, and they are a statewide agency, they had jurisdiction on the search warrant. They said Mooresville police were responsible for providing security and entry into the property on the day of the search warrant. A spokesperson for Mooresville sent me the following statement saying, quote, as it relates to the Iredell County Sheriff requesting an SBI investigation, the contents of that letter are factually incorrect. Mooresville Police Department was not the lead agency in the reference investigation. The Alcohol Law Enforcement Agency requested MPD support as well as Homeland Security investigations support in that investigation. The statement also denies that Mooresville police officers made any arrests that day. Reporting in the newsroom, David Hodges, WBTV, on your side.